Hey there, welcome to another spine-tingling journey. If you're ready for some creepy stories, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment and tell me what freaks you out the most. We've got plenty more chilling tales coming your way, so sit tight, stay spooky, and let's dive in together. I just want to start by saying I'm sorry. If you find yourself in a situation like what I am about to describe, I can't offer much comfort, only a resolution. You can skip to the end if you feel so inclined, but I don't think you'll be able to stomach it. Not yet. I need you to see what I've seen to understand. For those of you who aren't in this situation, congrats. Just pray to whatever God you believe in that it stays that way. That is one of the horrors of this predicament. From what I can tell, it either happens or it doesn't. And the way out isn't easy. I was 12 years old when I started seeing my other parents. Years of therapy have tried and failed to convince me it never happened. Some figment of my imagination or symptom of repressed trauma. I wish it were that simple. I know you're probably wondering what I mean by other parents. Well, my real parents are as suburban as they come. Dad works a 9-5. Mom works hard making our house a home. As for me, I was a pretty shy kid. This resulted in a pretty virtual existence. Books, video games, and message boards were my social circle. I spent most nights retreating to my room for a wild night of Halo with the boys' being my cousin and some random dude we befriended in a COD lobby. The night I met my other parents started on a night just like that. I wish I could say I should have seen it coming. Some prophetic dream or dark omen? Nope. Nothing remarkable about that day. Nothing out of place. No warning. I came home from school just like any other day. I finished dinner and made my way up the creaky stairs to my bedroom. A faint buzzing sensation, a flicker of light. I was someplace else. The smell hit me first, that new house smell you notice when stepping into a friend's home for the first time. Moments later, my eyes adjusted. I was sitting at a large white table. A half-eaten bowl of food sat in front of me. Before I could register anything else, they caught my attention. A man sat to my left, a woman to my right. A sound escaped me before the shock settled in. The couple glanced in my direction. The comfy scene I stepped into suddenly became very tense. The woman wore a concerned look and uttered something at me. The language was very alien, how I would imagine English would sound if I had heard it for the first time. If I had to guess, it was a remark of concern regarding my sudden tenseness. I didn't know how to respond. I glanced around, hoping to gain some understanding of what was happening to me. That's when I noticed just how surreal the room was. Despite the circumstances, the sight sounded fairly ordinary. A boy sitting at a dinner table with who I assumed were his parents. I was doing the same about 10 minutes earlier in my own home. Only the furniture was different. Everything was varying shades of glaring white. The walls and cabinets bent and swayed at odd angles. Trinkets and appliances littered the scene. I couldn't make out the function of any of it. At a glance, everything looked normal, familiar. But the closer you looked, the more alien everything became. Comforts of home stretched and bent with odd intentions. The parents looked like normal people for the most part. The only jarring detail was their clothing. I couldn't make out the style or garment. The man wore something akin to a suit, while the woman wore a loose imitation of a dress. The colors were summery and bright, contrasting harshly against the stark white backdrop. The seams were scattered and non-uniform. Buckles and zipper-like decals adorned both outfits. The man lowered his utensils and uttered something with a raised eyebrow. It wasn't a warm or concerned remark like his counterpart had shot me a moment ago. It was cold. Inquisitive. Only a few moments passed, but the tense presence of the strangers made it feel like eternity. I had to say something. All I could muster was a faint, sorry, where before I could get the words out, I froze. That wasn't my voice. I was speaking through someone else's mouth, in someone else's home, to someone else's family. This was obviously a dream. It couldn't be real. Tears started to well up in my surrogate eyes. I felt panic coming on, a faint buzzing sensation, a flicker of light. I was back in my room. The moment left as quickly as it came. The final image of my unwelcome stay in that stark white dining room burned into my mind. Mid-panic, I caught a glimpse of the parents' expressions. It wasn't confusion or concern. Any hint of that was gone. They were smiling at each other. It wasn't a joyful smile. Their lips curled, stretching too wide. A hunger glimmered in their eyes, an anticipation of something. Something I fear would have been very apparent had I stayed a moment longer. I took a shaky sigh of relief. I felt thankful to be back in my room. In my own body. For a moment, I hoped to forget all about it. Bury it deep behind a wall of virtual comfort. After all, it couldn't happen before I could finish the thought. I noticed something. Something was off. Yes, I was back in my room. But I wasn't in the same position as when I left. And my room was different too. Someone did this. I did this. The white room. The parents. It wasn't just a dream. It happened. I was in some kid's home, sharing dinner with his creepy parents. And worse, the other kid was here, in my room, in my body.